In this video, we give you a complete guide on how to catch snook in the surf. We'll first look at where snook can be found. We'll then go through the best conditions for them, followed by a rundown on casting techniques and other methods to give you the edge. We'll then show you an example of an ideal tackle setup, followed by a rundown on ideal baits. So where can snook be found? Despite being a warm water species, common or Atlantic snook can be found as far north as the states of New York and New Jersey in warm enough conditions. They are also found all the way down the Atlantic coast, but by far the best place to target them along this stretch is the coasts of Florida. They are also caught all the way along the Gulf Coast from West Florida, leading all the way up to Texas. So let's take a look at ideal snook conditions. Snook will run the beaches between the seasons of spring and fall, as they migrate north with warming temperatures. For the more northern states, the water will be cooler, giving a smaller ideal seasonal window. So from summer up through to early fall will put you in with the best chance. An important note about snook fishing: it is highly regulated in localized areas, so we advise you always check the local regulations of wherever you intend to fish. Florida, for instance, typically has a regulated spring season running from March to April and a regulated fall season running from September to November. The exact season will depend on the exact county within that state. Tampa Bay may vary from Indian River Lagoon, and so on. They won't tend to tolerate rough seas, so will prefer calm to easy surf action. Being highly visual predators, key feeding times are often around sunrise and sunset, when they have the low light levels to their advantage for ambushing prey. Night tides can also be effective for much the same reason. Now, for the all-important question of casting. Snook are a real fish of structure. When choosing beaches, casting near to bridges and jetties can be a great option, as the underlying foundations provide brilliant ambush points for snook as they target their prey. Equally around natural mangroves can be just as productive for the same reason. Anywhere near rock piles or areas of natural rocky seabed can also provide excellent areas to cast to. Estuaries and inlets are top areas to target, though snook will hit the open surf beaches throughout the summer once they return from spawning. It always pays to use stealthy tactics and to avoid making noise, as well as avoiding casting directly onto fish. Casting into the troughs along sandbars can be a great place to hit into a snook, as they will use this structure to harry baitfish. They can actually be found very close in, and this will be especially true on beaches that have a steeper profile, which gives access to deeper water. Spotting baitfish either directly or through the presence of diving birds will help you find where the fish may be feeding. Snook, even when present, will not necessarily be feeding readily. By targeting pairs or groups of snook rather than lone fish, this can raise the competition between predators and give you a better chance of hitting feeding fish. If you see snook continuously swimming along the length of the beach traveling along the shore, there is a higher chance that they are not in feeding mode. If you spot fish either facing the shore or momentarily stopping and actively searching, then this can indicate that they will much more readily be taking any baits you put in front of them. Now, for the crucial question of tackle. The exact outfit will depend on the expected size of fish as well as the seabed type and conditions, so as ever these are just guidelines. This covers a versatile lure fishing setup for your standard beach scenario. We'll use a medium power, medium to fast action spinning rod, nothing too heavy, as lure fishing can require lots of casting. We can use a spinning or fixed spool reel of around size 4000 to keep things lighter, though consider going higher if you wish to also target any tarpon that come along. Mainline can be either mono or braid, with braid being an excellent choice for keeping in contact with your lures. Mono should be lighter, anywhere between 15 to 18 pounds. Braid should be scaled up to as high as 30 pounds to avoid any digging in on the spool. A casting leader may be needed for lighter main lines and heavier weight combinations. Be sure to use tapered leaders, especially if using braid. For soft plastic or swim bait lures, you have the option of using a drill-weighted rig like this one shown here. The drill weight should ideally be a bullet-shaped design for streamlined casting. Egg-shaped sinkers do not cast as well. A fluorocarbon hook length leader anywhere between 20 to 40 pounds breaking strain is highly suggested to provide some stealth and abrasion resistance. Try to make the length of a minimum of 18 inches for better stealth and lure action. For this type of rig, a standard J hook can be used with a size to match your lure. We suggest using strong hooks if targeting larger specimens. You also, of course, have the option of using a weighted jig head. This is a much simpler yet effective way of attaching a soft plastic lure. So what are some top lures for snook fishing? It pays to use lures that will mimic any bait fish that are in any one place at any one time. This will likely include species like glass minnow and finger mullet. Typical colors that work well include natural colors such as white, green, or even red, depending on the exact bait fish that are present. Light levels and water clarity will also play a part in which lure will work best on the day. You can catch larger snook on larger lures, though using smaller lures will still allow you to target large specimens as well as not miss the more average-sized fish. A lure length of around 1.5 inches is a good size to go by. Always be prepared to strike as they hit fast. Also be sure to use the drag of the reel when required. Around sunrise and sunset, consider using top water plugs, which can see some aggressive takes. Just be sure to not use a drill-weighted line when using solid plugs, and always match your rod's casting weight. Want to catch red drum, striped bass, or bluefish? Check out the video links showing now. Be sure to hit subscribe to stay notified of future videos. Also be sure to check out the channel page to find lots more tutorials on fishing. We hope to see you again soon.